Good morning. First, our main story today. The trial of Anders Breivik, the man accused of murdering 77 people in Norway almost a year ago, will come to an end today. He's admitted the killings, which included a mass shooting at a political youth camp.
He insists he was sane at the time, but the prosecution has called for him to be declared insane and sent to a secure psychiatric ward instead of a prison. And we'll be talking to one of the survivors from the Norway attacks after 6:30 this morning.
The Labour leader Ed Miliband is to admit that his party got it wrong on immigration when it was in power. In a speech this morning, he'll say that too many workers were allowed into the UK after the European Union expanded to include countries from Eastern Europe.
Well, he'll also promise to introduce measures to stop British people being locked out of some jobs. Our political correspondent, thousands of London's bus drivers are on strike today in a dispute about extra pay during the Olympic Games. 17 bus companies are affected. 3 others won a court injunction to prevent a walkout.
Talks between the companies and the Unite Union failed yesterday. Our industry correspondent John Moylan.
The funerals of 6 children who died in a house fire in Derby will take place later this morning. Their parents, who are in custody charged with their murders, will not be attending. Anthony Bartram is out. Sure there is. Somehow.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Heavy rain for some parts of the UK today. Here's Carol with a look at today. Thanks very much indeed.
Time now 6:22. Earlier this week on Breakfast, doctors told us that an increasing number of people are super obese, with people so overweight they struggle even to leave their own homes. In England alone, obesity costs the NHS more than £5 billion a year.
So experts aren't just warning about a future health crisis, but a financial one as well. Jenny Hill went to Rotherham, once labelled the UK's fat capital, to see what's being done to tackle the problem.
At the time, he was the face of Britpop, the force behind the musical project Gorillaz, and now Blur singer Damon Albarn is staging an opera about an Elizabethan alchemist.
Something of a turnaround, perhaps. Originally an experimental work, he spent the last year refining it with the English National Opera. It's about Dr. Dee, an advisor to Elizabeth I who's dabbling in the occult, destroyed him. The opera opens on Monday, and Tim Moffat joined the star in rehearsal.
Damon.
Children now are targeted by magazines as magazines for teenage girls, boys, even younger. And almost every image in there will have been treated in some way. Many of us will be working during the London Olympics, but should some people be paid £500 bonuses for working extra hard? That's the view of bus workers in London who are going on strike today.
Yeah, City's Mayor Boris Johnson has condemned the walkout as unnecessary, arguing that more than £800 million is on the table. Happened. You feel so strongly about the issue, but you are very careful to point out that for you this is not an issue necessarily. You're not having a go at older drivers. This is about the ability to drive.
It's that the driver had been spoken to by the police. There must have been some frustration expressed by them that they couldn't actually stop him from driving. 3 shot but survived. Just tell us what happened to you.
Thank you.
Now, how many physicists does it take to solve the mysteries of the universe? In just a moment, we'll be talking to 2 professors who've had a go at answering that very question. And if anyone can, they can.
Professor Brian Cox and Professor Jeff Forshaw have written a book which aims to make quantum mechanics easy to understand. Here's a look at Brian in Hawaii explaining how heat keeps a planet alive. Moment where, how do you kill the alien? Well, you shoot its head off.
Yes.
I like those moments.
Yeah.
When you keep it simple.
That's one of the more surreal moments when you get a group of adults at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Steve Jobs, for example, which you have played previously.
I did, yeah.
And there is a movie going to be made on a bigger scale.
I would.